Okay, so we just learned one method for multiplying binomials. We learned that you could use, I call it the box method. Let's title our notes real fast, actually. Today is the first, and we are multiplying binomials. You should go in your composition book or on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so we learned the box method. So I'll do number one using the box method. So our problem is x plus 2 times x minus 3. So again, this is your length and this is your width. So we're going to create a little area model. And I'm going to put my x here and my positive 2 here, and my x here and my negative 3 here. So you have the x plus 2 on top and the x minus 3 down the side. Now we just have to multiply. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. So you have to identify your like terms, 2x and negative 3x, and 2x minus 3x. So first let me put my x squared so we get it in standard form. 2x minus 3x is negative 1x, or just minus x, and then we have our minus 6. So that's our answer. Let's do one more with the box method. Number 2. X minus 5 times 2x plus 3. So draw your little box. So I'm going to put my x and then my negative 5 here, and my 2x here, and my positive 3 here. So you have 2x times x, which is 2x squared. 2x times negative 5, which is negative 10x. 3 times x, which is positive 3x. And 3 times negative 5, which is negative 15. And then we just have to write everything in order and combine like terms. So first is going to be our 2x squared. And then we have to combine our 3x and negative 10x, which gives us negative 7x, and then we have our minus 15. And there we go. Now I'm going to show you another method. So I want you to notice before I show you this method that I'm doing, like here I'm doing x times x, so it's this one times this one, and then I'm doing the x, let's see, x times x, and then I'm doing the x times the negative 3. So I have to do the x times the x and the x times the negative 3. So it's like I'm distributing this x to both of these. And then I have to do the 2 times the x and the 2 times the negative 3. So you're actually distributing these two things to this binomial. So let me show you what that looks like. Number 3, 4x minus 3 times x minus 7. So I have to distribute the 4x to this whole binomial. So I'm going to write it like this, 4x times x minus 7. And then I have my minus 3 times x minus 7. Now I'm going to distribute both of these, here and here. So 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times negative 7 is negative 28x. Then I have to distribute the negative 3. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. Now you always have to watch out for those like terms. And negative 28x minus 3x is negative 31x. And we're just going to bring down our 4x squared and our positive 21. Now if you don't like this method yet, give me another chance. We'll do it one more time, and if you still don't like it, then I'll let you use the box method, okay? So number 4, let's do this method again. Actually, we're going to do it a few more times. Give me a few more times. 5x plus 2 times x plus 8. So I'm going to take the 5x and put it with this binomial. So I got my 5x, and I'm going to put it with x plus 8. And then I'm going to take the plus 2 and put it with the x plus 8. So I'm distributing both of these things. So remember, when you have an x times x, it's going to be an x squared. So I have 5x squared. 5 times 8 is 40. Don't forget your x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 8 is 16. And then again, we've got these like terms. Positive 40x and positive 2x gives you positive 42x. So we have 5x squared plus 42x plus 16. Okay, let's move on to another example. I'm going to use the same method. Number 5, 3k minus 1, that's your first binomial, times 4k plus 9. It's your second binomial. So again, I'm taking the 3k and putting it with this entire binomial, and then I'm distributing the negative 1 to the entire binomial. So we have 3k times 4k plus 9, and then we have our minus 1 times 4k plus 9. So I have to distribute 3k times 4k. Well, first the coefficients, 3 times 4 is 12, and then your k times k gives you k squared. 3k times positive 9 is positive 27k. Negative 1 times 4k is negative 4k. And then negative 1 times positive 9 is negative 9. And then before you're done, you have to combine these like terms. So we have our 12k squared. And then, I missed my k when I highlighted here, didn't I? Positive 27 minus 4 is positive 23k. And then you bring down your minus 9, and you're done. Notice that every time I finish, I've got everything in standard form. If it wasn't in standard form, you would have to put it in standard form. Okay, let's do another one with this method. And then I'll show you a different method. One more method after this. 8n minus 5 is our first binomial, and our second binomial is 3n minus 6. So I'm going to write the 8n times this whole binomial and the negative 5 times this whole binomial. So I have 8n times the second binomial, 3n minus 6, and then I'm going to do my minus 5 times the second binomial, 3n minus 6. So 8n times 3n is 24n squared, and then 8n times negative 6 is negative 48n. Negative 5 times positive 3n is negative 15n. And negative 5 times negative 6, be careful, negative times negative is a positive 30. And then you're going to combine your like terms, negative 48n and negative 15n, which gives you negative 63n, and you bring down your 24n squared and your positive 30, and you're done. One more method that I'm going to show you. So review. So far, we learned the box method where you put your length on the top of the box and your width on the side of the box. And then you fill in the inside and you just combine like terms. And then there's this method where you write the first term with the second binomial and then the second term with the second binomial, and you just distribute and combine like terms. This one is called the FOIL method. You're still distributing the same way, but I'll show you why it's called the FOIL method. So let's see, this is number 7. Number 7 is 3a plus 6. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a b. 3a plus b. Let's do an easier one, actually. Let's change that back to 6. Sorry. Plus 6 times a plus 3. Let's make it a plus 4. Okay. So up here, what we did is we distributed the 3k to both of these. Now we're going to do that same thing. We're going to distribute this to both of these. But then on this method, we did the -1 times both of these. So I have to do that second term times that whole binomial. So I'm going to show that on the bottom just so I don't run out of room. Okay? So I've shown everything I'm going to multiply. So I have to do the 3a times the a, which is your 3a squared. That's the first times the first. That's where the f comes from. First times first. And then we do 3a times 4. That's outer. So you have your outer terms. They're on the outside of the binomials. 3a times 4 is 12a. And then the i's for the inner terms, the ones on the inside, 6 times a is 6a. And then L is for last. 6 times 4 is 24. And then again, you always have to combine like terms, if there are any. So we bring down our 3a squared, and then this would be 18a, and then we have plus 24. Okay, let's do another one using the FOIL method. Number 8. 4x plus 12 is your first binomial, and your second binomial is 2x minus 1. So we do our first term times our first term, and that would give us 8x squared. And then the outer terms, that's the O, F-O, 4x times -1 is -4x. And then the inner terms, 12 times 2x is 24x. And then the last terms, the last of the binomials. So we have 12 and -1, which is -12. And then, as always, combine those like terms. Eight x squared, plus 20x minus 12, and we're done. So you're still distributing, like you're doing the 4x times the second binomial and the 12 times the second binomial. So it doesn't matter which method you use. You could use that box method from the very beginning. You can use this method here, or you can use the FOIL method. Okay? Let's do 2 more. Number 9 is 3a plus b times a plus 2b. So we have more than one variable going on here, so it's a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to distribute my 3a to both of these. 3a times a is 3a squared. 3a times 2b is 6ab. A and b are different, so you just put them side by side. And then we have to do these together and these together. B times a is the same as a times b. Since I already have a first and b second, and since a comes first in the alphabet, I'm going to put my a before my b. So this would be like a 1 and a 1, so we get 1ab. And then 1b times 2b is positive 2b squared. And then I've got these like terms, my ab's, positive 6ab and positive 1ab gives you positive 7ab. Bring down your plus 2b squared and your 3a squared in the front, and you are done. One more like this, number 10. 5x plus 12y. Here's your first binomial. And your second binomial is x minus 2y. Minus 2y. So first I'm going to distribute the 5x to both of these in the second binomial. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times negative 2y is negative 10xy. The x comes first because x comes before y in the alphabet. Now I'm going to distribute this to both of these. So this is like a 1x. So 12 times 1 is 12. But then you have your y and your x, but put the x first. And then we have 12 times negative 2, and they're both y, so we're going to end up with a negative 24 y squared. And then combine these like terms in the middle, because they're both xy. And we have 5x squared. And then negative 10 plus 12 is positive 2xy minus 24y squared. And we are done.